My name is Winfred, and welcome to this channel where it's all about Friday nights being life. And today is not any different. We are doing life, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, subscribers. Those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, you are welcome. Today, we are going to be talking about a different topic altogether. So, tell a friend, grab those drinks or that cup of tea, that juice, and let us get on our life. We are going to be talking about why love goes cold. There are so many reasons why love goes cold, and today we are going to be discussing some of those reasons as to why love in a relationship goes cold. Let me know where you're watching in from. Let me know who you are. Feel free to drop in the comments your name and your experience as well, because we all have different life experiences. So if you have had an experience with love, this is your kind of thing, go on, guys, and join and drop in the comments your experiences. Today we are dealing with love and why it goes cold. If it has gone cold on you, if it has ever gone cold, if it is cold, if it is still okay, you go ahead and share. And together let us build ourselves. Before we go any further, we are going to pray and welcome the Holy Spirit. Father in heaven, we bless you. We thank you for yet another time on this live chat. We pray that you guide us and lead us even as we start our chat. Bless everyone that is tuning in. Speak to us, Lord. In Jesus' name we have believed and prayed. Amen and amen. Our topic is why love goes cold. Have you ever met those people that you thought were your friends at some point, and as time went by, they stopped communicating, or that other person that you met, and you thought you had it together, you are starting to see, future together, but things happened without any explanation, and the love went down the drain, and now it's a different story. Well, there are reasons as to why that happened, and I hope today we can address some of those. Those of you who are subscribed, you are amazing, and those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, you're welcome to this channel. And feel free to drop in your comments and call on the line +256 762 599 138. That's the number to call, and we will be able to share experiences together. I pray my camera person brings for me that phone so that we can use it for those who are calling in. Otherwise, what causes a love to go cold? I'm not an expert at this, but I'll tell you some of those few things that are obvious to the eye that normally causes our love to go cold. Whether you loved someone at some point and for some reason you didn't understand it, things ended. Some of them are on a good note and some of them ended on a bad note. But some of the reasons why love goes cold, there is that honeymoon phase versus the reality. Normally, how a relationship starts is different from how it carries on reality. You know, when a guy is trying to pursue you, is trying to get you to his side, or a girl is trying to impress you or make the relationship work, we all go out of our way and we make this nice bed of roses in a relationship. But later when we stop, that is what they call the honeymoon phase and versus the reality. That is my very first point that I'll talk about. How you start with passion and eventually settle into a routine. We tend to fall into a routine after some time in our relationships, and that can cause it to go cold. Now, say like while I was interested in someone, I was trying so hard, I was making myself up, I was watching my weight, he was making sure the money is there, surprises every corner, and then after we have been together for some time, then they just, change and feel like we already have each other. So why try to pay an extra, effort into making things work? So it's that honeymoon phase passing versus the reality. Reality normally causes us to settle, like you start getting used to each other. You're wondering, is she worth it anymore? After all, is he worth it anymore? We get used to each other and start taking each other for granted. That is one of those things that can cause our love to go cold. So if you're one who is starting a relationship, make sure you don't let those lights burn out. Or yeah, make sure they are turned on and lighting all the time, because once we settle to reality, it ceases to be exciting, and so before you know it, the love has gone cold, and we don't care about each other anymore that much, because we men are excited about that chase when they are not yet the ones. And before you say, yeah, it's okay, we can go out, or yeah, I like you as well, they like that chase. And once the chase is over, the thrill is gone, and that you start seeing him without brushing teeth, combing hair, those small things that they used to do that to impress you, keeping on the tidy and neat side, smelling good, and if it's the girls, looking all right and proper, we should, try and maintain. Another thing that causes love to go cold is the emotional neglect. There are many reasons why love goes cold, and emotional neglect is also one of them. When one or both partners stop making each other feel special, you stop doing those small things that you used to do to make me feel like I matter, that you care, that you still love me. Those things can cause love to go cold. Some of the small things people do and yet uh, really count is, those constant phone calls, the text messages, when you're trying to get someone to like you or love you or care about you. You do those extra small things. You're always on the phone calling, checking in on those surprise notes. Now, when we stop all that and what I termed as the emotional neglect, we start not to care about what the other feels or how they feel or what matters to them. Those are some of also things that cause the love to grow cold. There are so many things that could cause love to grow cold, but there are smaller ones that we can really work on and make our relationship stand better. Now, the reason why they would not is because we have neglected or we have stopped on that side of caring. When one or both partners stop caring or making the other feel special. There's a girl who was talking to a fellow girl, and she said, I want this man who will make sure they treat me like a queen on a daily. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Some of these talks are good to hear, but again, they sound teenager-ish or kiddish, because if I'm going to be treating you like a queen on a daily, you really need to treat me like a king on a daily basis. That way it comes naturally. But if we tend to be one-sided, you want this person to treat you in a special way. She was saying, I want flowers, surprise me with flowers, chocolates, and I don't have to explain to you what I need. And I'm telling you, I don't want this man to ever see me or get to know that I even know how to cook. So she wanted to surprise, to be, and I was wondering, just a minute, guys. I was wondering whether, in her not wanting the man to know that she can cook, whether they are going to be eating out on a daily basis. There are some things that we adopt or things that we copy, but I don't even know where we copy them from, because when you put them to practice, they actually don't work. Yeah, she was telling her friends, I want to be treated as a queen on a daily basis. I mean, all the surprises. Treat me like a queen all through and through. Otherwise, I'll stay single for the rest of my life. And she was actually planning on actually doing certain things that are not right, simply because it's either she gets that right person who would treat her like a queen on a daily, or she wouldn't get into a relationship. But we need to remember that relationships are two-way traffic. You give it out and receive it in return. There is us expecting, staying on the receiving end, hoping this person will understand, this person will give me this person will do for me this. But what are you going to bring on the table? We tend to think that we ladies, all we do bring to the table is our looks and that's it. Well, that's not enough sometimes. Relationships, you need to bring more than just looks. Because if the guys brought muscles to the table, I bet you can't eat muscles. Or if they brought looks as well, I bet you that can't pay the bills. So we all have to bring more than just that to the table if we want our relationships to still run and run with some good fuel. Otherwise, the relationships go cold. You find that some people started off on a high, and for some reason you don't get it now. You rarely see them together. You ask them about where the other is, and they don't seem to know, simply because a few things here or there started overweighing the other person. Now, that girl who I was telling you about, who wanted to be treated as a queen on a daily, it is okay to be treated as a queen, but you need also to be able to give out the kingship to this guy so that he can feel, a king, he always goes where he feels honored. We have a king. I come from Uganda. Guys, go ahead, let me know where you're watching in from and what your name is and your experience. Go ahead, drop it in the comments. I may not read it right away, but I assure you, I've seen your comment and I'll handle it when the time is right. Otherwise, back to what we're talking about, in the comments, you'll find the number to call in if you want to call in live and join. It's a live chat. The number is +256 762 599 138. Go ahead and call in if you want, or drop a comment, and we'll be together on this one. Otherwise, back to the point that I was talking about, the emotional neglect. If I'm neglected emotionally, I will not be able to give you anything in return. I'll just give up on this. Emotional neglect, meaning where you don't care about how I feel, or trying to make me feel special, or me trying to make you feel special anymore. That can cause love to grow cold. Now, another point that could cause love to grow cold is unmet expectations. That is also very key, guys. When partners expect love to stay effortless, but it requires work, yeah? Unmet expectations is one of those things that causes relationships to grow cold. I can see here just a little bit. Jasper, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for commenting. I'll get to your comments later. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, feel free to let me know who you are that is watching and where you're watching in from. Together, let us share life experiences on why love goes cold. I may be here listing my things when you have some other serious reasons as to why on your end it went cold, or through your experience some people's love went cold. Go ahead, drop in the comments, and we will read your comment as and when time allows. Otherwise, you're very much welcome to the channel. Unmet expectations is what I was talking about. When partners expect love to stay effortless, but it requires work. When I say that, I mean, any relationship requires work. Those people that you see and look up to in a relationship, that have beautiful relationships that you admire, there's a program we used to watch on TV, and there was this lady, they were Latinos. She grew up in a really struggling family, and on the low end, she was really tired of that kind of life until she went to school with some rich girl, and the parents took her in and gave her an exposure to the fine things in life. And once she got there, oh my goodness, she was something else. But she was expecting from the man to give her all these things that she had had that the rich people do have. There's a way we can look into other people's relationships only outward, and we admire, we wish we had what they have. when actually looks can be deceptive. What I put out on the front can be something else. I could depict that everything is good and rosy when actually it's not. But relationships do take work. For those relationships that really shine on the outward, even on the inside, they do take work. It takes you to learn to be patient. It takes you learning to, be forgiving, to love unconditionally. It takes a lot for such relationships that one could look at and admire to work. And 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 what do I call it? Real, unrealistic expectations can cause love to go cold. Like I get married and my hope is this man is going to, get me a car, move me to a bigger house, you know, get take me all over the world. And you get there and man, you have to struggle to get and to make ends meet, If the landlord is always in on your case, that can cause your love to go cold because you had unrealistic expectations, or you had expectations that are way high. And before you know it, you start looking at this man as a big loser, and you start looking at him as this man that can actually do nothing. Because in your head, when they came to approach you, they came you know, throwing around money, and you thought, well, what you see is what actually is, when it wasn't the case. And that those disappointments as well can cause love to grow cold. Even as ladies, a man gets married to you. When you go out and it comes to eating, you get a bite or two or three out of your food, and you know, turn the plates in, and then you get home and you eat like God knows what. The man can be like, "Yeah, but the one I saw was not taking down food at this rate. Now food I buy can't even last for a week. What is going on?" That can also cause love to go cold. Or if there are things that you expected me to do as a man, because expectations, guys, are not only one-sided from the woman's sex side, but also on the man's side. Men have expectations and women have expectations. And man, we women have expectations from you guys. But just as we have expectations from you, you do have expectations from us. I know of some men who think every woman can cook, every woman is cut out to build a home, every woman can, you know, take care of children. Well, that's not the case. Some don't even want to know. They don't want children. They don't want to cook. They want to be waited on. So expectations, unmet expectations can really lead to the love to go cold. Those were the reasons I said. Uh, Today we said we are going to be talking about those things that cause love to go cold. Probably you've been wondering, why is it that people who start off so well, you know, at the end of so after some period of some time, you find that they can't even cross paths, they can't see eye to eye, they can't, you know, act civil around each other. The love went cold, and it went really cold. Right now it's iced and can't be broken. But there are those things that can lead to love going cold. So if you're in a relationship and you see those telltale signs, guys, you should be ready, because that is not a good sign for a relationship. And just to recap, thank you guys who have just dropped in or who are watching. Those who have just joined us, who are tuning in for the very first time, we are talking about why love goes cold. There are so many reasons why love goes cold. This is a live chat. Go ahead in the comments and drop your name. Let me know where you're watching in from, who you are, and together let us share life experiences. Friday is all about, doing life and how you are doing life, where you're doing it from. So today, the topic of discussion is why love goes cold. And so far, we've discussed one of the topics. It's a live chat. You can go on and call on the number +256 762 599-138, and we'll be able to receive you and you'll air your opinion on this topic today. Otherwise, in the comments, you can drop and let us know your experiences as well as to why love goes cold. My points, one of them that we talked about was the honeymoon phase versus the reality. How a relationship starts with passion, but eventually settles into a routine. That is my finding that causes love to go cold. You know, when we have just met, we are all at our best, and everything seems rosy, and I like everything about you. You like everything about me. But then after some time, you stop putting in the effort, and we go back to reality. Before I was, walking around the house properly dressed. Now you're seeing me forgetting to even brush my teeth, forgetting to even comb my hair. Reality has set in. So that is one reason why love goes cold. The honeymoon phases out, and honeymoon phase phases out, and then reality hits. Then you get to find out this man actually, who was sending me flowers every Friday, doesn't have a job, and that can change upon things. So today we are discussing those reasons as to why love goes cold. Another one is the emotional neglect. Yeah, when one or both partners stop making each other feel special. Because remember, relationship is a two-way traffic. You give in and I give in, and then together we make a beautiful thing. But if we don't and it's one-sided, that emotional neglect, I gave an example of a girl who was telling her friend that if I'm to get into a relationship, I need this guy who will treat me like a queen. It is true, we all want to be treated special, but my opinion is this. For those of you ladies that are tuning in, thank you so much. And gentlemen that are tuning in, feel free, it's a live chat, to drop it in the comments where you're coming in from, where you're watching from, and your life experiences on causes love to go cold. I gave this lady the advice that if you want a man who treats you like a queen on a daily basis, you need to also be able to treat this man as a king and bring out that king in him, whereby he feels like a king and treats his lady like a queen, because it's two-way traffic. Now, once it is one-sided and the man is giving in the kingship, the queenship, trying to treat you like you would want royalty, or like a queen, or like a princess, you've also got to be willing to act like a queen to your king, because he's your king. That means you honor and respect him. When that is not reciprocated, guys, it causes love to go cold. Another thing that causes love to go cold is unmet expectations. When partners expect love to stay effortless, and yet it requires work. All relationships require work, even the ones that we look on the outside and see and admire. Those people have put in time. They've learned to forgive. They've learned to, be patient with each other. They've learned to be kind. They've learned to be forgiving. So all relationships require work. But when we have unmet expectations, when partners expect the partners expect love to stay effortless, you need to work on a relationship in order for it to live and not go cold. It goes cold because there are expectations. Like an example of the expectations, when I use that word, I get married to you. My expectation is you will always provide. You will always meet my needs. You will always give me all this and the other. And yet, also you as the man, you expect me to get in there, be able to take care of the house, take care of the kids, cook, clean, and do all that. When I don't play my part as the lady and do my expected bit, which is to cook, clean, and take care of the children or give birth to children, then love can go cold. And if from us ladies, I expect my man to be able to take care of me financially, to meet all our financial needs, to be this rope that we lean on, to be someone who, we look up to for provision, for protection. If none of those is shown, then love can go cold. How a man protects his woman is, say, like you hear people, family members talk about your woman, maybe because she cannot have children or she is not the best looker, and you stand for her, you stand in for her. That alone can help your love to get stronger and stronger. Another thing that causes love to go cold, guys, is busy lives and priorities shifting. When I talk about priorities shifting, the kids come in, the work come in, the responsibilities take the center stage. When that happens, chances are relationships will go cold. And we don't want that. So how do we keep our relationship staying, on the hot side where we are still excited about each other, regardless of your work, regardless of the kids that have come in, and the responsibilities that, we all have? Those are the things that will be for another topic. But feel free, guys, to drop in the comments and let me know who is watching and where you're watching it from. And you can feel free to also call in and share your experience on why love goes cold in a relationship, because it happens so much. Everyone gets to wonder. We started off very well. I mean, this guy I met seemed okay. I thought we would, be together forever. What happened? When you didn't even get to read between the lines. Sometimes the telltale signs are there that tell you, things are going down the drain, but we choose to look the other way. But one of them is busy lives. If we allow our busy schedule to take over, yeah, women like money. We love money. We want the good life, the fine things, get me that nice car, give me that nice phone. But that also takes time for me to have those things, because the man to be able to provide those things, he needs to have a job that needs him all most of the time. So we need to also be at that place where we need to balance our lives out. You know that you have work and you have kids. How do I divide my time between my work, between my family, between my kids? Because, guys, much as you have kids, still life continues with that woman that you put in you're allowed to come in your life. She needs to feel still special, just like you need to still feel special with her, regardless of the kids. So on both sides, we need to learn how to balance out our relationships in such a way that um, our priorities don't shift. We still keep focused that this is the reason, this is the person that I chose to do life with. And because this person is the one I chose to do life with, or he needs to take center stage, regardless of the changes, responsibilities, work, and kids taking the center stage. Yeah. Another thing that causes love to go cold, guys, feel free to give me your comments. What your opinion is as to why love goes cold. It's a live chat, and go ahead and call in on +256 762 599 138. That's the number. It should be pinned up somewhere in the comments. Otherwise, the other reason as to why love goes cold is the lack of communication. When small misunderstandings pile up and create distances between us, because believe you me, those misunderstandings will come up. Where you annoyed me or I annoyed you. But if we don't talk about them as and when they arise, these can lead to our love going cold. Because I will give you an example. There's a gentleman from church who had just gotten married to a beautiful lady. She was a hard worker. He would come home, the house is clean, food is cooked, and always welcomed him at the door with a big hug and a big smile on his face. And the man was happy in the first week of her being at home, because she was a stay-home wife, and she would stand at the doorway and hug him just as when he's coming in from work. And each time the man would stand at a particular place and see this lady. But right above the head of the lady was the spider web growing. And this man kept on seeing it on a daily, growing bigger and bigger. 1 week passed, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. By the time it was a month, the web had really become really huge. And the spider was this time round visible. But the woman, because she stood at the same place every day welcoming this man from work, never saw the spider web. But the man kept on seeing it and kept keeping quiet. And while he would get home, the house was spotless. The food was warm. There was a bath ready for him to have and just get into, resting. But because of that one thing, which was the spider web that was growing in the corner, the man got annoyed. One day he had an outburst and he said, I can't keep on loving you. He started resenting her, thinking she's dirty, thinking she's messy, because of one thing, the spider web that was in the corner right above the the lady's head each time he stood to welcome him from work. Now, whose fault do you think that was? Because, we are all human beings. She would cook, clean, and keep everything spotless, except for the spider web that was in the corner of the house, of the sitting room where she stood. But this man resented this woman and called in the pastors and said, I'm done with this woman. She's dirty. And the pastors had visited their home just after the wedding, and they found the place to be very clean. And the food she cooked was amazing, out of this world. So they asked the gentleman, why is it you keep on saying your wife is dirty when we've never come to your house and found it dirty? And he says, there is this spider, come, let me take you. You will see it and you tell me whether this woman is not dirty. When he got the pastors home, he showed them the spider web. And the pastor said, oh, so it's over this one. And he said, yes, look how big or huge it is. And the pastor said, but if you happen to see it on a daily basis, why didn't you talk to her about it? Because with the look of things, it had missed her eye. She didn't even spot it. So that goes to show us, guys, that when we are in a relationship, if there is anything that you see before it escalates and becomes something else, talk about it. That would help our love from going cold. If you're not happy about the way I make the bed, the way I clean the house, show me probably how it's done. Or let me know that you're not doing this right, and then I'll change. Or tell him that, you know what, each time you come from work and you've not got this or you've not done this, I don't like it. Before it becomes this big thing that creates distance between us. So that is another reason why love goes cold. The other reason why love goes cold is the loss of individual growth. We all have our own growth, but we tend to get lost in each other. Before I was working, and the man found me at work. He was working, I was working. I had goals, I had expectations, yeah? And it gets to that place where I feel like because I married you, I can't grow any further. Or another bit could be that because the point is loss of individual growth. I let myself go because of my love for you. And then you cease to, be what I wanted. I let myself go and I put the blame on you. That's a loss of individual growth. When people change, but the relationship doesn't revolve. Yeah. Like I change, I've had babies and we've had children. Before we were clubbing. And now that we have children, I stop going out to club and then my partner still goes clubbing. That can cause, our love to go cold because we were younger when we met. And now we have evolved, we have grown because now we have children that depend on us. Now, if you don't realize it or I don't realize it and still stay doing the same things I used to do before we had children, that could cause our love to grow cold because I did not evolve when the relationship was I didn't change when my relationship was growing. That is also one thing that can cause love to go cold. Another thing that can cause love to go cold is unresolved conflict. Resentment builds when issues aren't properly addressed. Say like you annoyed me sometime. Because we are human beings, guys. You're bound to annoy me, I'm bound to annoy you. But what happens when I've annoyed you and you've annoyed me? Do we still, do we still stay when we're not talking to each other? Do we talk? If we do not resolve conflict, you annoyed me yesterday and I kept quiet, and you did the same today and I kept quiet. Eventually, guess what will happen? I'll stop being that person. And we ladies are so terrible on this one because we know how to put these men down. I sent him for fish. There's a lady who said, I sent my man out for fish and he came home with silver fish. I sent him for one big fish or even, a kilo of now patch. But he came home with, silver fish. Silver fish comes when there are so many. And that is normally not what one requests for when they ask for fish. But just because of that, today you ask for fish. And because he doesn't have money, or he didn't get enough that day, he came with what was similar to the fish, because silver fish is fish as well. And just because he did not bring the fish in the kilo that you wanted, but brought silver fish, that doesn't mean he's not any good anymore. But if those small conflicts arise and we do not resolve them, guess what will happen? Our relationship will go cold. So if you're one looking to develop your relationship, address issues as and when they grow or come up. An example, when I was pregnant at some time, I had gone on and cooked this nice meal for my husband. I thought he would be excited because I've made that meal. To me, it was good. It was the best because I was craving for what I had just made. And then he came home and he was like, "What did you cook?" I had made aubergines, or what they call eggplants. Now he didn't like eggplants, or what we call aubergines. The Americans call them aubergines, or in Uganda we call them biringanya. He didn't like them at all. But I had gone on and made them. And when he came home, he didn't like. And because I was pregnant, the hormones were being secreted in me, you know, for resenting. I took offense at just anything. So I felt bad that he had not eaten what I had made out of so much care and love. But remember, all that it would have taken was for me to tell him, I made this, I like it, I want you to like it. Or tell me you don't like it, but you try it. But not trying at all can be something that really offends the other. But now that we are dealing with, a cold relationship, or things that cause a relationship to go cold, we need also to learn that as and when conflict arises, we need to solve it. Because when we don't, guess what will happen? It will cause the coldness. We will resent each other. Many relationships are failing now. And I think because of so many reasons, but those reasons can be resolved. And we can have good and steady relationships. It's not good that there's so many single mothers out there, single fathers out there, people who have given up on relationship out there. It is all because we have failed to, learn each other and also recognize that relationships are two-way traffic. What you expect from your relationship, you need to be able to give it back as well. Like I gave an example of this girl who wants a man who would treat her as a queen on a daily basis. Otherwise, she doesn't want any relationship. Now, I was asking, if you want a man to treat you as a queen on a daily basis, are you ready to make him feel like a king on a daily basis? Because if you're not, then your expectations are out of this world and they are unrealistic and probably they'll never be achieved. And there she was saying, and my man will never know that I know how to cook because I will not cook. Now, you tell me if that is not disaster waiting to happen. Because if we don't take note of the other party as well, our relationships are one-sided, our expectations are unrealistic, and our relationships will grow cold. Another thing is physical and emotional intimacy decline. The moment the physical and emotional intimacy declines, or the affection reduces, the connection is lost. Like it or not, when we are just freshly attracted to each other, we are intimate. A hug or two here and there. But the moment the physical and emotional intimacy declines, chances are our relationships will go cold. So we need to keep our physical and emotional intimacy up there. How do I keep it up? There are so many ways. If before all you used to do is call me in the middle of the day from nowhere and say, hello, how are you doing? I'm thinking about you. Or there were those notes that you drop by. And the moment you stop doing that, guys, you're heading for disaster. You need to keep them up. The men, if there's any man out there that is listening, let me know your side of story, because I could be giving the female side and not representing you very well. But go ahead and drop in the comments. Let me know where you're watching in from, who you are, and together let us build our lives and relationships. Otherwise, and I'll read your comments as and when they drop in, when I find time to squeeze them in. Otherwise, when the physical and emotional intimacy declines, there's less affection, you know, then the connection will drop. So, and we'll start wondering, why is our relationship going cold? Our love going cold. So we need to keep it up. Those things that we do when we are trying to get our partners to be on our side, to like us, to love us, we need to keep them up, because trust me, they'll keep and maintain our relationships. Because if we don't, men tend to have a habit of pursuing. You are naturally pursuers. You pursue, and once you get your goal, you stop pursuing and probably look on the side to get something else to pursue, having got this one. But I think it is good to not always be pursuers, but also people who can maintain that which we have pursued. Like if I'm a girl, I'm a girl, and I work so hard to look so good for my man. I work so hard to make sure I bring something to the table. If I stop, then why is it that I stopped? Because that will cause our relationship to go cold. Unless it's really inevitable, I should keep up what it is that I was using to build our relationship initially. Now, if you are a man and you are pursuing a girl, I think we need to keep our goals realistic and our tactics realistic. I mean, if you're not tactics realistic, if you're going to be buying roses, let it be your habit that you do it every Sunday. You need to be able to first of all realize, assess whether you can sustain it. Because when it changes, we women as well keep on expecting. He always sends me flowers. I don't know why. Even when I pretend that I'm not impressed by these flowers, when you bring them, that day you miss, that is when I'll be like, I think he's found someone else. Because before these flowers were there, whether I wanted them or not, and now they are not anywhere in the picture. Maybe he doesn't love me anymore. We start thinking, we start imagining things. Some may be right, some may not. So let us be people who have set things that we can keep up with. Don't try to be who you're not. Because each time you're not who you are, guess what? I will fall in love with the wrong person or wrong character or wrong, you know, individual. And yet I could fall in love with you the way you are. So that emotional and physical intimacy should not decline. If you are a person who kept on hugging me all the time, hug me all the time. And if I'm the one who was giving out hugs all the time, I should keep them up, because the moment I don't, then the other party would start thinking maybe I've found someone else. Because those small, small things that we do that change in a relationship can be read differently. So, guys, I would really say that let us keep it real in our relationships. I'm Winfred, and those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, it's a live chat. Go ahead and drop your comments. Let me know where you're watching in from and who you are. And together, let us do live. Fridays are dedicated to our lives. We do live chats where we talk about life. Sometimes we talk about money. Sometimes it's relationships. Sometimes it's leadership, different things. So if you're one who has your Fridays free and you're always at home on Friday, go ahead and tune in. You can tell it to a friend. And together, let us laugh and chat. Go ahead and drop in the comments. And also call in on +256 762 599 138. I will be able to read your text and know who it is that has texted. Another thing that causes love to go cold is taking each other for granted, forgetting to appreciate and show gratitude. When I start taking my partner or my husband or my girlfriend or my wife or my my other half for granted, guess what will happen? I do things for you, but you don't even seem to notice that I did them. I dress up well, but you don't even recognize that I'm really dressed for you today. And yet before you are showering me with compliments. Not all relationships are backed up by money, that you have to be buying me things. It gets to that place where you're building each other. And so the small things start to count. Those small things like appreciating me, showing gratitude when I've done something, when I buy you on your birthday, that thing that you wanted so much, and I get it for you. Show me that you liked it. You appreciate it. When I, pay the rent, when I pay school fees for for our children, appreciating each other will keep our love from going cold. But when we take each other for granted and we stop showing gratitude, that, guys, can be one of the first trains that can take our relationship to the cold end, and probably it may never recover. That is another thing that can cause love to go cold. Forgetting each other's birthdays, the anniversaries, those small, small things. They are not a big deal, but they do count at some point, because they show me that you care, you remember, you love me. There's no one in my place yet, because those are the things you are doing before. Have you met these girls who have birthdays almost 3 times a year? You meet this guy and you tell him this is your birthday, and then you meet this one, because we love to be showered with presents. And some people have taken it upon themselves to believe that um, birthdays is the only time you get presents. So they enjoy making them up. With every new boyfriend, it's their birthday. The first weeks, because that's when everything is intense, and you're being showered with things left, right, and center. But also we need to know that it is not good to take each other for granted. If I've been married to you, if we have been married, if we are dating, my birthday is key, your birthday is key. We need to, it's a two-way traffic. The ladies play their part in remembering, and the men play their part in remembering. Because once we neglect those bits, then our relationships will go cold, and we'll keep on wondering why they went cold, but simply because we played a part in their going cold. Another thing is uncertainty. When I'm not certain about tomorrow, whether we'll be together or not, it is not good to be in a relationship where you're not sure it will, this person will be with you the following day. Us ladies, we tend to scare these guys, threatening them about leaving. If I'm not sure of your being around, next year or in time to come, I will start learning how to deal or do life without you. And then later on, you start going so deep and I'm out of it almost, because I've programmed myself to live life or do life without you. So that uncertainty in a relationship, I don't know whether you stick around when I gain weight after childbirth. I don't know whether you stick around when I'm sick, because I don't know about you people that are watching, but men tend not to be very good when it's the woman that is sick. They tend to, want to go away and not be there. I'm not saying this to every man, but men are not so good caregivers or caretakers to their spouses or partners or wives or husbands. Sorry, or wives. Yeah. Men tend to be not so good in that area. But if we can try and assure each other that I will be there, this thing that we are doing will last longer than today, then our love I'll put in so much trying to ensure that it sticks or it runs its course. Now, another thing that when I say uncertainty, like an example, when men tend to do this a lot, putting the spouse down I don't know who deceived you and told you that when you put your spouse down, then you'll be, in the pilot's shoes. Well, that doesn't help our relationship, because if you put me down in saying I don't look good, I've gained weight, I have nothing on other ladies, they have nothing on me because they are better looking. Once you keep on showering me with those things and I happen to land on someone who will compliment me, I will leave you and leave you to your dreams of those people who you think will love you. So, and you wonder what happened, why I don't care anymore, because now someone else is appreciating me for who I am, what I've done with myself, how I look. We tend to change when we have children, the ladies change. And you guys, because you don't know half of what women's bodies go through when they are carrying the babies, you are quick to say you're not taking care of yourself. You've let yourself go. And when you keep on saying those words, they are sharp and they take root, roots that run deep. And those roots, my friend, I know of a lady who she is an American lady, and she was so cautious of her weight that when it came to serving food, she would sit and eat off her daughter's plate, just so she doesn't gain weight. And if she feels like the food was nice and she happened, because the kid grew up later and started saying, Mommy, stop eating from my plate. I need to eat my food. I served it. Go get your own. And so she would serve herself and eat out of guilt. And then after that, she would run off to the bathroom, gag herself, and bring everything back up. Why she used to do that is so she can keep being small. Why? Because she got to know that her man was interested in her being small, not big. Now, you men, this is just a call out. If you want these relationships to work, shower your woman with praises, because whether she gained weight when she was pregnant with your children, they are your children and they are your joy and delight. If she's failed in one way or the other to take the weight down, I think it would be nice if you know complimented her, because she did this in sacrifice for both of you, so that you can have those children that you call your children, that are your joy and delight. And also us ladies, because this, remember guys, is got to be balanced. Yeah, when your man brings what he can at the table, because men are providers, don't put them down in saying, I asked for big fish and you brought silver fish. What kind of man are you if you can't buy for me gas and I use gas to cook? What kind of man are you when you can't afford the latest phone? Men are not measured basing on the kind of phones that they can buy or the kind of cars that they can drive. A man is a man by the fact that he can be able to take care of himself and you. The fact that he can own up to his responsibility, he's a man. So for that, guys, let us be, creators of environments that will keep and sustain our relationships. Take away the grounds that would keep us uncertain, where we are not certain tomorrow you'll be around. The reason why we women have that, bag for the women, we call it Insawiyechkazi in Uganda, because I'm from Uganda. Guys, let me know where you're watching in from, and together let us do live. It's a live chat. Go on in the comments and let me know where you're watching in from and your reasons as to why you think relationships go cold. Otherwise, we were still talking and talking about relationships and why they go cold. Uncertainty in a relationship causes relationships to go cold. We women tend to have our ladies fund. It's always some money. Like in Uganda, we have we call it kameza, where the man leaves you money for upkeep every day, to maintain the house, run around, be able to sustain the house for the day. But that money comes, and when it comes, I will take off some and keep. Why do I keep it? Because I'm not sure you'll stick around tomorrow. And remember, you've given me kids. So what I do, I keep some on the side. It is selfish. It is wrong on all counts. But ladies do that and do that a lot. If I'm working, I work and my money goes to my account. You never know how much I earn unless I tell you. And if I told you, I'll tell you half the truth. Why? because I'm not certain you'll be there tomorrow. But if I'm certain that you'll be there tomorrow, I'll be this open book that you can write in. I'll be this person that contributes, lets you know that, you know what, I'll bring all these ideas that will help contribute towards our savings so that we can develop ourselves. So the moment you see a woman is not doing that, she's not sure you stick around tomorrow. She's not certain you'll be there for her. Because when we are getting married, we as ladies, we are told about the expectations in a marriage, that a man is not a one woman's man, he belongs to so many. So in my African setting, that is what they tell ladies, and they tell us to put water in our mouth and just keep mum about things. But in the meantime, we have devised means to work this out. If I really care about you, I would not sit there and be okay and all giddy and smiley when I know you are with someone else. I wouldn't. So because I can't, if I happen to stick around and be there, it is because I've devised means to cope. And some of those means, guys, if you don't know, yeah, stick your ear to the ground. You will learn a thing or two today. We keep that money because we are not sure you'll be there tomorrow. And that acts as a safety net. In case you leave me, I'll be able to rent myself a place. In case you leave me, I'll be able to start myself a business. I know of a lady. A gentleman was telling me some time back, and he said that he has been with his woman for about 4 years, and they have 2 children, but it's a blended relationship. The woman came with 4, and he came with his number as well, because he's also got his set of twins and other kids from other different mothers. But he found this woman and said, now I'm going to settle down, try and make a family out of this whole setting. So he started saving, and he would give her money to put in a tin. They got a tin with a piggy bank, and dropped in money every single day, saving for, the future developments like buying mattresses, furniture for the house, because it was a new setup for both of them. Now, the gentleman got to find out much later that the woman kept on she removed the wrapping paper, the paper over the tin, and cut it at the bottom and removed the money. Each time the man put, the woman pulled out and took. He put, she pulled out and took. And then when that gentleman got to find out one time, he said, he was looking through, but the woman would take out the money and put papers. So the man saw white papers peeping through, and he told the woman that I need to open this tin. And the woman said, Tata so and so, or Daddy so and so, forget that tin. If I were you, I would stay away from that tin. And the man was like, I have to. I saw white papers in there, and I've never put any white notes. We don't have white notes. What is that I just looked at? And the the man insisted, got a cutter, cut the tin, and the moment he cut, it tore apart because she had already cut it anyway. And he found papers. There was not a single coin in there. And he started telling the woman, why is the tin filled with papers when I've been putting money in there? And the woman started crying and said, that is why I don't like you. You are always inquisitive, asking about small things. But the man was trying to, save money so that they can build a home. But because in the past, the woman had other relationships and things had not gone well, he had learned that to be a bad experience. I hope Jazania can get me my phone, and I can be able to read these messages as and when they come up. Jazania, if you're tuning in, please get me my phone. Or whoever is tuning in and is around, please get me my phone so I can read the messages. Now, this gentleman said because he wanted to keep peace, he got another solution and found a bag and put it in the bedroom corner. And he said that bag was special to him because that's where he used to keep the codes for his children. And in that bag is where he started putting money, because he had already told her not touching that bag, because what I keep in there is for my kids that I've had over the years. And anyone they bring as my child, I put the codes in there. So the woman, out of curiosity, checked inside the bag and found out the man actually puts money nowadays in the bag because he let the other matter slide. Uh, so, Suna, thank you so much for tuning in. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. I was trying to read your messages, but I'll read them when they bring another gadget for me to read. Otherwise, he said, let me keep that money and put it in the, in the drawer somewhere in that bag. So he kept it there, and the woman still got that money and used it. But the woman kept on switching places. The man kept on switching places where he kept the money. Why did he do that instead of talking it over with the wife? Guys, it takes us to the very first point we talked about, which is communication. You need to talk about things as and when they arise. Because the man was afraid the woman may leave and it's registered as another failed relationship. Guess what he did? He let that slide again. And then he got this time himself somewhere else to keep the money until the woman took that money as well, found the place and took the money. It is key that we talk about certain things because when we talk about them, then they become no more issues for us. I see here Jasper said hi. Thank you, Jasper, for tuning in. And he says love is needed, right? Yes, it is needed. You're from Uganda. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Suna Josh, you said you think I remember you. I think I do, but you could shed light as to who you really are because in case I don't remember you, you go ahead and remind me. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. Suna and Jasper, thank you so much for tuning in. And guys, it's a live chat. Go ahead and drop in the comment section your comments on why you think love goes cold. Because love goes cold every single time. Why do you think love goes cold is the topic today. You can share your experiences and together we can build ourselves. Another way you can get in touch is calling in on +256 762599138. That number, when you call in, you'll be able to join us live. Otherwise, uncertainty in a relationship. Now, this woman had been with several men who had fathered her children over the years and could not trust this man to stick around because of what she had been through with the other guys. So she had learned to save money for a rainy day, just in case this one also doesn't work out. She had a backup plan. So uncertainty causes people or relationships to go cold. Another thing that causes relationships to go cold is insecurity. I'm not secure with you. I all the time I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm thinking if I'm a man, I'm thinking probably one day you'll find a guy who has more money than I do and run off. Because I mean, girls have done it, and go off with the one who has got the most money. And also there is being insecure. On the women's side, you gain weight and you're not secure anymore. You're not secure anymore in who you really are. You don't think you look good anymore. Yeah. That can cause, the love to go cold. I don't think, because you're not showering me with praises, you're not saying I look good anymore. I also see my body has changed over the years. And then I don't think I look good. I could start, closing in on you. And then before you know it, I'm not present, but you are. I actually left the relationship for you and moved on. Suna also wrote something. To teach you about saving. Yeah, we'll talk about saving. And if you want sooner, thank you so much for the comment. We've dealt with saving before. We'll hint on it later if you stick around, because the topic today was, why does love go cold? But we'll talk about savings later if you stick around for a bit, maybe about a few minutes. But right now, the topic of discussion is, why does love go cold? So if you have any reason, any opinion on that one, go ahead and text it. It's a live chat, guys. Go ahead and text in And together, let us talk about love and why it does go cold. Probably that will keep us from cold filled love. Insecurities. I am a man, I used to have a job, and now the job is gone. Yeah. I don't have a job anymore. I cannot provide for you. And I'm worried someone with more money will come in and take you. That alone can cause a man to cave in. Men always want to feel, like they've got this. But each time that rug is pulled from under their feet, these men cave in. And that could cause the love to go cold on their end because they are not providing as intended. Because again, we need to be flexible. Man, you need to be flexible. Allow the woman to take care of you as well. I mean, you do that taking care of for so long. But when you can't be in position to take care of your lady, allow. I hope we ladies will also be receptive and also helpful in that area. Because if they've been providing for so long, if they can't provide anymore for some one reason or the other, let us step in and take up those shoes because any of us can really carry them. I remember in lockdown, I don't know where you guys are watching in from, but in the lockdown, uh, there was this clip that went viral of a gentleman who didn't have money coming in, and the lady had cooked chicken and was serving it. And because the man had not bought the chicken that they ate that day, she told the maid, "Don't give daddy the whole leg or the drumstick, give him the wing." I mean, if he gets money and becomes man enough and buys chicken, can afford to buy chicken and feed us, then he will eat the gizzard and also the whole leg. And that, to me, that seemed really mean because he has been providing all this while, but because he cannot, then even his position is changed. That is wrong, guys. Guys, if we do it as well as ladies, we need to change and step up as and when these men need us. That will keep our relationships also flowing. As Jasper says, speaking big topics. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And who else has written? Suna Josh has said, "Mommy, I have a girl in Saudi. Can you trick her whether she loves me?" I don't know how you want. What do you want me to tell her? Suna, let me know what you want me to tell your girlfriend in Saudi to find out whether she loves you. But again, guys, relationships, yeah, relationships. You need to know for sure that this person. But again, us girls, we can play. Yeah. Sooner, let me know what you want me to ask your girlfriend in Saudi and find out for you if she loves you. We will do that. Just let me know what we need to do and then we will try and do it for you. And then you get to know for sure whether she loves you or she doesn't. Normally, long distances have their challenges. And at some point, you get to that place where you think, probably this person doesn't love me. But they do, because what we think of people who are not living in Uganda, who are like working abroad in Saudi, in Dubai, in Qatar, Turkey, those countries, we think they are out having relationships, but when actually they are not. And if they left relationships here at home, they are counting on them to stand, but only for them to come back and find empty nests when actually the man. I'll actually tell a story. There is a lady who went to Dubai. They talked it over with the husband, and the husband said, "Yeah, you go ahead and go to Dubai, work, and then we'll be able to complete our house and pay fees for our children easily." And when the woman went, she came back. She kept on telling the man, "I'm going to come back." And the man said, "Stay there. We've not yet got enough money." And the woman stayed there while the man used the money to actually introduce another lady because she got pregnant for him and went on and had started a family with her as well. And by the time the girl came back, it was the man had pictures of another woman he had introduced, and her heart was broken, and they were living they bought land and actually built different from where they were living before with this lady who had gone off to Dubai. So we do that, but you guys have heard of what they call karma. You push it out there, it comes back to you. So don't throw it out. I think sooner you'll be surprised when that lady still loves you, and we don't have to trick her. But tell me what you want us to do with her. Probably we'll invite her on here or call and then hear what her opinion is about you. But again, it's not easy calling someone and telling them asking them whether they love a certain gentleman. But we'll find out for you. Just let me know what you have in mind and we'll play around with it and see if it's applicable. Otherwise, we need to create an environment that makes the other feel secure. When we are not secure in our relationships, we tend. Now I say the word we because this can apply to a man or can apply to a woman. If a man is not sure you stick around for the years to come, he starts looking around. Fine, he can stay toying with you, but he looks around for someone who will assure him that will be there for tomorrow. Because we women also tend to threaten men with this thing of I will leave and find a better man. I will leave all the time. We know, as time goes on, we grow up. And as we grow up, guess what happens? We become wiser. So that kind of threat doesn't shake me anymore. And guess what? I actually let you go and then I get someone else. Because I know of a gentleman who did it. The woman was always playing the card of I'll leave. One time she left, thought she was coming back to her house as usual, and this time round she came back and the doors were closed and the man was saying, don't come back. Go back to where you have been all this while. So really those cards of treating each other or taking each other for granted shouldn't be played. Another thing, when we talk about insecurity, I'm not sure if I'm a girl that I've had children, you still find me attractive. And yet, if you keep on showering me, telling me I still rock even when I've had those many babies or that baby, I still look good, that lifts my confidence. And guess what? I'll pour in my best wine into the relationship and trust me, it won't go cold. But if you keep on comparing me to other women, telling me how other women look finer than me, how they have what I don't have, that will cause me to build walls around myself that are not easy to penetrate. So if we want our relationships to stay on the hot side, we should remove the blankets of uncertainty or insecurity and wear those blankets of, making your partner feel secure. The man will work harder. But this means of telling the man that, what kind of man are you if you can't buy for me the latest phone? Yeah? If you can't buy me the latest phone, if you can't, get me the latest car, a man is not measured basing on what they can give you. And that's a lie, a very big lie. I could give you all these things, and the last thing I do is treat you like a woman that you should be. Just because I got you a car doesn't mean I treat you right. Because I could beat you and to the point of bleeding. But I get you that car and I get you that phone and give you all these niceties that would cause other women to have their jaws drop. But that doesn't mean I'm a good man, I'm a man. A good man is measured by the way they take up their responsibilities, taking care of those loved ones that they have with the little resources that they are given or the resources that they have. Yeah, treating you with respect. That is one sign of a good man, not what the world has laid out as, the scale for finding a good man. Another thing that can cause a relationship to go cold. I see here Suna has written, okay, let's put the number you call on it. Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to say. Sooner you have to let me know more about your relationship with this lady, because I can't just call and ask, do you like Suna? Do you love Suna? Yeah, I need to know more about your relationship, because we women are defensive and we are secretive. I can't just tell you, yes, I love Suna, he's this, he's this, he's this, yeah? I have to know some more about her, how long you've known each other, how things were before she went off to Saudi. But if you think she doesn't love you because she's in Saudi, that's a lie. Saudi is just like any other country. And because it's not a country for black people, it is very, very rare that she's there and in a relationship with someone. It is very rare because you have also to be mindful of the people where she is at. They are racist because it's obvious we are not like they are. So don't be quick to jump on the board of she doesn't love me. She could be loving you. Let us know more about your relationship sooner and see how we can help, if we can actually help. Otherwise, another reason why relationships go cold is because our partners were treated a certain way. That is how they grew up, and that is what they know of relationships. Say like a man, you heard of the saying monkey see, monkey do? I I saw my father growing up beating living with my mother and going off to someone else after having the three of us. So I also leave my wife after having kids with her and then go find someone else. They are just copying what they saw growing up. So some relationships fail because of that, because they are copying. You know, your father left at 6 when you are 5, and so you get into a relationship and you don't know commitment. You feel like when things are getting serious, you should run because that's what you are copying from your parents. Your mother left when things got serious, your father left when things got serious, and so you're doing the same. You don't want commitment. Some people do let their relationships go cold because they are copying from what they had been given. They grew up seeing people live in their lives, and so they are doing the same. It's like a monkey see, monkey do kind of game, and it can also lead to a relationship going cold. Like I bring the exact things my father was doing in the house to my relationship, and yet my father at the end ended up separating with my mother. Do you see how that can lead to your relationship to go cold? You know, because your father left when you were 5, and so you think men cannot be trusted, or because your mother abandoned you when you were 1 year, and so you think this woman will also abandon me at some point, so you start putting walls around yourself just to make sure that this other one you've just got doesn't do the same thing your mom did, you know. And that is also one thing that can lead to a relationship going cold. That past trauma. Yeah, my mom left when I was 5, my dad left when I was 3. You know, we pass it down. Once the relationship is getting serious, you see from a mile away and you run. That is also not good. Also, the desire for control. You test the other person for commitment. Yeah, like you want to control your partner. I know of a gentleman who used to belittle his woman so much, telling her you don't look good, you shouldn't walk around dressed like that, those are not your kind of clothes, you shouldn't be wearing that. Thinking in doing that he will keep her to himself. Well, that is also a wrong move. We should be confident enough, yeah, to shower praises with our partners. I mean, if he looks good, tell him he does. If she does look good, tell her she looks good. Let her know that she is fine. Yeah. And that will help her boost her confidence, and she will relate better with you. A confident person is good to be around. One who is not sure about themselves is not so exciting to be around. So, how do we keep these people in our lives excited? Let us shower in the praises, you know, and not desire to control them by telling them things that make them feel bad about themselves so you can feel good about yourself, because then I would start resenting you. You know, you start telling me how I've got the weakest, the smallest legs, the worst smile, or this. That will not help me, because then I'll stop smiling. You know, you tell me my voice is like one of those squeaking birds that wake people up in the morning, and you think I would love talking to you. I'll start closing off myself. So one thing that we can do to keep our relationships from going cold is to ensure that the other person as well, we loosen up on our control of our partners. Yeah. If I'm not secure, you're going out and I'm wondering, where are you going? Who are you talking to? Let me check your phone. That can cause distrust in me. And guess what? Over time, I'll be fed up of all this and I just walk away. So we need to, loosen up on our control, and also that habit of testing our partner's commitment. There's a gentleman, guys, let me know where you're watching in from and who you are. And together, let us talk about life and what causes love to go cold. Let me hear from you. What do you think causes love to go cold? Come in, you've had stories, you've had experiences. Let me know what you think causes love to go cold, because it does go cold, but what causes it to go cold? I'm waiting to hear from you. It's a live chat. Also, the other thing that I for sure know can cause love to go cold is stress. Stress is one of those things that can cause love to go cold. I don't know about you, Suna or Jasper, but stress can cause love to go cold. There's stress at work. Let's talk about stress at work. You have these assignments that you have to get off your table or your shoulder. Those assignments that your partner doesn't understand, you've got to finish up on at work, or at home when you get home. Those can also cause, the stress at work can cause your love to go cold. Also, health issues. Health issues can cause the love to go cold, if especially partners are not strong. Because if I have an ailment that does not allow me to go spend much time with you outdoor, and you want to go outdoor, you are the party animal, you want to go clubbing every single time, and I can't go because I'm not feeling up to it, or because I've just given birth and I feel I can't go places. Health issues do cause the love to go cold. So we can work on that, because if you want someone to stick by you when you are not well, then you should also be able to give that back in return. There's a gentleman that I was telling you about whose lady kept on stealing money from all his saving piggy banks. That man, I asked him, why doesn't he leave that lady? And he said, this woman stuck by me. One day I woke up and I had a stroke and I could not walk. And I was paralyzed from the waist down. But she nursed me back to health. That is why each time I think of leaving her, I think twice and stick around. Now, do you see how their love was tested to the point that now health is a reason for their relationship not going cold? But it has also go the other side. If you're not sticking by, had that woman not been there for him when he was going through those moments, I don't think she would still be in that relationship. So when we give ourselves to a relationship and we decide that we will handle life together, that will ensure our relationship sticks. Because this man can't leave her. For some reason, he keeps on keeping her around. Everyone is telling him, drop that woman, drop her like she's hot, drop her. But he keeps on saying no. Each time I'm thinking I'm going to do it because she has done her worst. There's a time he gave her money for rent and she used it, and he doesn't know what she used it for. And the landlord came knocking and said, where's the money? And the man is like, I already paid, even before the month ended. And the landlord said, well, I don't have in my books as one who cleared. And confronting the woman, finding out why the rent wasn't paid, the woman just breaks down and cries. I don't know whether those tears work for her. But the good thing is she laid her bed very well. She made sure she took care of him when he was ill. So every time a man is thinking of throwing her out, he reflects and keeps her. So you see in this case that the stress of health issues help the relationship to grow, but it can also work the other way and it tears you apart, where the partner is sick or is not is not well, and the partner doesn't stick around. When they don't stick around because someone has gone through a phase of ailment for some time, that can cause the relationship to go cold. Because then when I get well, I'm like, so you like me only when I'm good and healthy, then to hell with you. And that's the end of it. Another thing that can cause a relationship to go cold is financial difficulty. If a couple goes through a phase where there is no money, that relationship, unless helped by other things like God, chances are it would not stand. We women love good things, fine things, and once the money is not coming in, we tend to, just walk away and leave the man to work it out. And once they've got the money, then we come back smiling. We just gave you time to think about things, work through things. But actually, when we had left, came back because we got to know you got a break and now you have money. So financial stress or difficulties can break a relationship and cause it to go cold. How you can keep it hot is when that money is there, because there are some ladies who are only seriously chasing after money. But if you see such a woman, you need to run, guys. Leave alone these things. I know of a guy who was told this woman doesn't love you. She only loves the money that you have. And he said, well, what do you think I work so hard? So I can be able to keep her around. So he actually knows she doesn't love him. She loves the money, but he didn't care. So we should also be people who think beyond today. I saw a comment and I think it came from Suna. You said, but she uses Luganda. Oh, that's okay. You can let us know her details and also tell me something sooner about her. About her, how long you have been together. Yeah. How long have you been together? Why did she go to Saudi? Because some of us women leave and leave relationships that are burdensome to just go and have an opportunity to have a better life. I'm with you, you take me for granted. And I'm like, once I get money and get out of this, I go somewhere, I work for my 2 years or 5 years. I'll come back a different person, start my own thing and leave this broke man and his bad, weird manners or behaviors. So I don't know what was the relationship like before you actually went off. She went off to Saudi. Yeah. Sooner. I will use Luganda on this one. Simanyi relationship yammwe we yali eri nga tanaba kugenda Saudi. Let me know how your relationship was before she went to Saudi. How long you had been together. If you had not been together for long, probably she moved on. But if you were together longer, let me know and we'll give her a call. Find out how things are, whether she's still for you or not. Yeah, let me know. Otherwise, you can send me the number, I call her, and we get to hear if she really is into this or not. Send me her number, WhatsApp number, and you said 5 months ago. Yeah. What happened 5 months ago? Is that when you met her and then she left? Or is that the time you have been together? I need to know because I don't want to call her and I'm caught off guard. So let me know how long you've been together, when you met her, and I think you met her 5 months ago. What were the grounds as to why or reasons why she left to Saudi? Is it because you had agreed she goes and makes money, or you are just still trying to get her on your side and she left? Oh, you're still in love. Okay, now what do you want me to ask her? Because I can call. But what do you want me to ask her exactly? Because I can't just call and say, hello, do you love Suna? That would look like a creep, eh? Someone trying to encroach on the relationship. But if it's what you want, give me the number, let me call her and get to hear what she's got to say. Otherwise, another reason why love goes cold is personal growth. Individuals grow and evolve, and values and beliefs also change. An example, in the African setting, when you got to be a certain age, they would get you married off or get you into a relationship with someone. Yeah, they would get you married to someone. Asuna has written, and allow me guys to read what he has just written. He said, uh, that which best love. I didn't understand that question sooner. So if you can rephrase it or you can write it in Luganda, I'll try and read it in Uganda. Which best lover in Uganda? They are Ugandans who love Suna. They are Ugandans who love. Not everyone is after money. There are those who love money. This is what I can say about relationships sooner. And for anyone who wants to take or borrow a leaf, I give this as an example. I'm not an expert at things, but this is what I normally use as an example and I give to those who are close to me. Anytime you get into a relationship and the person you're interested in is way, way, way up there, yeah, chances are you are going to be on tippy toes to get to this person. She's not good for you or he's not good for you. Anytime you get a person that is so beneath you, yeah, level of understanding, reasoning, education is so beneath you, chances are you're going to get issues because all the time you'll be bending just to get to their level. And that's not good for a relationship. Anytime you get someone way up there, way above you, their income, their cost of living, everything is way above, their level of education is so up there. That relationship is also bound to fail in some way or the other. It is best we get someone who is on our level. Get someone who understands you. You are not so much learned. Try and get someone who is at your level because that relationship has a ground to stand. But if you get someone who is way above you, you always be on tippy toes trying to reach them. And if you get someone so beneath you, you will always be bending, trying to reach them. So when you get someone who is at your level, those things will work out because you will sit and reason things, see things the same way. You're talking about saving, this person will also see savings. You're talking about, uh, starting a family, that person will understand what you're talking about. Work, investment, they will understand because they are at your level. But if you get someone so much beneath you, you will always strive to reach them, whether they are so beneath you or so above you. So get someone who is at your level. Don't convince yourself you'll get her. There is someone who called in last time and said that for him, he would rather get those rich girls and convince her, give her what he has for now. And once he's gotten her pregnant and is confident that she's now his, then he can bring out the true colors that I have nothing actually. All I have is love. Well, that can work for you, but it won't work for long. It will be one of those relationships waiting, to fail. Why? Because you are not what you are while trying to pursue this person. It is always best that we try to be real. Be real. Let this person who loves who you truly are fall in love with you, as opposed to pretending to be someone you're not. Because each time we pretend to be what we are not, guess what will happen? We will be found out and things won't end well. Because this person will be tired of going hungry. This person will be tired of always not having enough. because they are not prepared for that. But if they are prepared for that, guess what? They will stick around. They will stick around, they'll make it work, they'll give it their best. Why? Because you chose to stick around and be real. Once you're not real, you are pretending, I pretend. Guess what? We're a bunch of two pretenders trying to make things work. Guess what will come up? Will bring out as a result? We'll bring a fake product. Like I've seen the things that they use to make a good uh, phone, and I know they use this, and this, and I get the fake, I get something similar, but it's not it. Mix them up, and guess what I'll make? A good fake product. So when I'm fake and you are fake, together we'll have a fake relationship where none of us is real, where none of us really is themselves, and before you know it, it's gone down the drain. Why? Because you are both fake. I hope that answered something for you, Suna. Yeah, real women still are there that would love you the way you are. And me, I'll tell you one thing that causes a relationship to go cold. It is prayerlessness, or being in if not anything, that should have been the very first reason that we gave for why relationships go cold. Like I'll give that as a base because I grew up in church, and I know when before you meet someone, you're praying to get to find the right person, and then you meet them, then you stop praying, starting to convince yourself you married an angel and you are an angel, when you actually know the truth that none of you is. You are all human beings that are bound to make mistakes and hurt each other. But if you keep it before God in prayer, pray for your partner, pray for your husband, pray for your wife, pray for your girlfriend, pray for whoever it is that you've chosen to do life with. Pray for them. Because when you do, God will give them the grace to stand you, and for you to stand them. Like I said, it's two-way. Without prayer, we are racing straight away to failure. But prayer sustains. You know, I know one thing, that the earth and its fullness are God's. So because it is God, He's got the final say. He knows who is right for you. But if you don't ever put it before Him to guide you on finding her or finding him, guess what you do? You just go hitting walls, and whoever you find, you go with. You go for. You end up having products of children that you didn't actually plan for or want to have, simply because you didn't put it before God. But run it across Him. It is never late. Guess what? You didn't pray before and had these people come in your life and go. But now that you know Him, pray. Pray about it and ask God to guide you. A person can come presented so well. They look so right in every sense. They are speaking the right way, they carry themselves the right way, they have the money. If you're looking at money, they have everything as you would have dreamt. But guess what? When they are not the right ones. But if you put it before God, God will address them. And guess what He will do? He will address them, and you get to see them for who they truly are. But if you don't run it across God, I will camouflage myself, get into your life, and you regret the day you ever met me. Because while you met me, I was at my best behavior. I was at my best trying to make sure you are always smiling, you are happy, you had what you needed, you got from me what it is you expected. But after you have sealed the deal and got me to be yours and considered me yours, then guess what happens? I just drop you, because the colors that I pull out after that are not the colors that you expected. So prayer, guys, prayer does bring light to dark, bring all that is hidden in the dark to light, and you can clearly see and make a rational decision. You said, Josh, you said, we are still in love. That which best lover in Uganda. I think you are trying to say, are there good lovers in Uganda? Yes, they are there. But it's because we don't spend time trying to look for the good things, the real things that count. When you men are looking for women, you're looking for parts of the body. Let me quote it and quote it right. Men, when you're looking for people to relate with, you look for parts of the body. Forgetting parts of the body do not make a relationship. They can excite the relationship, but they do not make a good relationship. If I fell in love with you, or if I got you to become my woman because you had the best eyes, remember, eyes don't cook. You don't talk with the eyes. You don't relate with eyes. Eyes do not put food on the table. Eyes do not take care of children. But that's what when you men are looking for in women. You look for parts of the body. Some of you go looking for legs, others for, a big round bottom, others go for the big bust. There are different things that are pulling. But one thing I've told, even this I told to one of my brothers, that the things that you go looking for when you're starting a relationship should be kept in mind when you're running it. After you've got her and she doesn't know how to cook, remember you saw the eyes. Feed on those ones and keep the relationship going. Yeah. Because if it's not that, then make your priorities straight. Look for the right things when you're looking for a girl. Don't look for the skin color, the height, the size. Those things do not make a relationship. Our people in the European countries or the developed world have learned to relate, and their relationships, I'm not saying they've got it right, because even them, they have a high divorce rate. Now, that doesn't mean we've got it right because we don't have a high divorce rate. We have learned to cope, live in loveless marriages, because we are keeping up appearances to our loved ones so they don't say, you mean you were with this man for only months and you left? So some of us are in relationships like those, which are even dangerous to us, simply because we don't want the extended family to get to know things went bad. But those people are expressive, so if they see the love is, things are changing up, they are not, what they got is not what they bargained for, they leave. Yeah. Now, what is causing our love to go cold a lot is because we look for parts of the body. I got married to you when you were nice, prim, and proper. And now, after 2 children, I don't even know where to hold. That alone, you start changing. We need to go deeper when we are relating. What is it that drew you to this person? Is it her business mind? Then, when you get there and the money has come in, don't start looking for women who have got other assets on them, because you wanted a business partner. So keep that in mind when you're relating. It will help also keep our relationship stay longer, because once we lose priorities along the way, because that does happen. I got you because you had a big bum, or you had nice legs, or you had a big bust. And then we get into the relationship and you don't even know the basics of relationships. You don't even know how to respect me as a man. You don't know how to take care of a home. But at the end of the day, you as a man, you need to remember why you got this woman. You didn't get her because she was the best cook. Otherwise, you would have got a chef. You didn't get her because she was the tidiest person. Otherwise, you'd get cleaners for wives or partners. You didn't get her because she was the most fertile. You got her because you were looking at the legs. Yeah. Now the legs have failed to do certain things. Look at the good and hang in there, because that's what would make our relationships last. I hope also that one is one of those things that we take heed to. Another thing that can cause relationships to go cold is external influence from family, from friends, from social media. Oh my goodness, that is another one. Friends can cause a relationship to go cold. Us girls, we meet and we talk from A to Z regarding our relationships. We don't have scruples as to what we should talk about and what we shouldn't. And so you tell your friends what your man does, what he brings home, what he didn't bring, where he took you last time. And then you start comparing notes with the other friend who the husband took to Dubai to shop for the wedding. you start comparing with the other friend whose husband who just got the latest car or number or phone. That can cause your relationship to go cold because once yours is not doing the same. Because remember, guys, we are not the same. Hands are not the same. Even the fingers. This one is big, longer than this one. And because it's longer, it's bound to do different things because it's longer. This one is shorter and smaller. And guess what? We are different. You could find that what your man can afford, mine can't afford, but that doesn't make him less of a man or less of a good partner. But it's because of external influence from families or friends or social media. When it comes to social media, it's the worst. It gives us unrealistic things where you get to watch someone wake up in the morning, they don't have to work and they're off shopping in Dubai, off shopping in Paris, holiday in Italy, and you're like, I've never been anywhere. These guys are going on holiday. And then you start resenting the one you have because they are not giving you what others are having. That is also bad for a relationship. It can actually lead to the relationship going cold. Family. Oh my goodness. Family can cause a relationship to go cold. How does family do that? My sisters don't like the guy I'm going out with, and guess what they'll do? Even if he does anything, it won't be good enough. Even if he buys me something, it won't be good enough. It won't measure up. Why? Because they don't love him. And eventually I would succumb to whatever opinions they've given. And I would start looking at him through those lenses the family has set. Because they are scrutinizing everything that he doesn't have or she doesn't have. Then I start, not being contented with who I have because of family. So family also can, lead to love going cold in a relationship. Those are things that we also need to, because they exert pressure on a relationship. They either put the expectations way up there or they put it so low, excuse me, or they make it seem like what you've got is not the real deal. There is better out there and you need to find it. Yeah. So we should be on a lookout of family because their opinions count. That is why they should be among those people that we should take seriously when it comes to looking at reasons as to why relationships go cold. Because if your mom said that girl is no good, even when you've liked her, you start looking at how she's not good and eventually start using those lenses of your mom on her and start realizing my mom was right. She doesn't even wash their clothes very well. I looked at the collar yesterday of my shirt and it was turning brown, you know. But had that party not come in, you would probably find another way out as to how to solve that which has become an issue in your relationship, and it would slide, you know. But friends, family, guys, let me know what you think. But that's also my take that family, friends, and social media can exert pressure on a relationship and cause it to go cold. That is my finding about those three. They can also lead to your relationship really going downhill very fast. If parents don't approve, if friends don't approve, the man you brought doesn't even have money, and then you start looking at him in the money sense. Initially, you are okay talking, you like his vibes, as I may put it, you like his style, but then when you take this man to other people, the friends, compare him to social media, compare him to family, then he doesn't measure up. Because the ones we see on social media have their money already made. They just spend it. And so you start having unrealistic, expectations from your partner, because, what you saw on social media, they had, and he's not providing, or if he doesn't have, that can take a toll on a relationship and cause it to go cold. I'm yet to know who else has tuned in. Guys, it's a live chat. Feel free to drop in your comments and I'll read them. Your experiences and your opinions as to why relationships go cold. Because they do. And why do you think they go cold? What causes them to go cold? I mean, you find these people who have been together for years and all of a sudden they are not together anymore. And it's actually sad when you get to hear. But because there are different reasons, we've had different stories. Go ahead and share. It's a live chat or call in on +256 762 599 138 and let us hear your beautiful voice and your opinion on why it goes cold. It's a live chat. Fridays are dedicated to a live chat where we talk about life. Sometimes we talk about different topics. You can also feel free to put in the topics, in the comments, what you would want to hear discussed for the next Friday topic. And we will probably invite a guest or, discuss that topic as well. Otherwise, sooner you're a good sport, just by a good sport. Anyone else who is watching in, guys, go ahead and give me your opinion on why you think relationships go cold. Another thing that I can say that causes relationships to go cold is mental health. That is something that is growing up very fast on us. We didn't have it before. But I think because of the technology, because of the things that we are seeing now, exposure, social media, depression has taken a toll, anxiety as well. Those are things that can impact a person's ability to connect. And they've taken a big part in our lives lately. And they are also contributing to why relationships are going cold. Mental health. Before, it is something that was not so common, something would easily dismiss. But you can really get depressed. And your partner is trying to get to you, but they can't even reach you because you're so depressed, so lost. You're hard to find. Depression is very bad, and anxiety. And I think the things that have also caused depression are social media. You see and compare your life. This person is driving at 20, got their first car at 16, and you've never even got a bicycle, and you're wondering, what is wrong with me? Will I ever be anything? Our lives we are not in a race to see who gets there first or who has the best, this or the other. Mental health has led to so many things, and depression is one of them. How mental health? It's depression. When a person is depressed, there's nothing that can excite them about their life anymore, simply because a measure has been put out as to what is good, as to what is nice, as to what is right, and you don't measure up or you don't have it. And so you walk around with your head down. Yeah. An example is those people who you see social media putting out that a person who looks a certain way is the beautiful one, and so if you don't have it, you should walk around hiding. That can cause you to be depressed, and you're not able to relate freely simply because something has been said that is a lie and you believed it. Like a person with big lips, that is the in thing, so you walk around with your lips like dark simply because you want to be. That's why you see many pictures on social media. People are posing all kinds of poses, trying to focus on certain things because that is what has been set as beautiful, as pretty. And so we do that. And it keeps us depressed. It keeps us from relating freely. If you don't have them and you realize that's what is trending, guess what happens? You start shying out on your relationship and giving it less, because it has been laid out there as it's the good thing. Yeah? So mental health has really been detrimental to, our relationships going cold. People don't think what they have is what is needed. People don't think they have is what is good. And so what they do is they either give up on what is relationships, or they give relationships very little because they don't they don't think what they have is good enough. Mental health is so bad. It causes you to be anxious as well. You know, you have, I don't know about you people, but in Uganda there are people who drive the latest, who are after the latest phones. You know, iPhone just released a new one, and so you have to have it. And if you don't have it, then you're not living. You know, that anxiety for what is up next, what is trending now. Do I have it? Yeah, that is also very bad. That's why I say I bring it down to social media. It has caused so many people to be depressed. It has caused many people to be anxious over things that would ideally not be things to be anxious about, like the way we look, what we are driving, what car we are driving. Before, I mean, it was good enough that you're driving and others are, trekking to work. If you're driving, it was good enough. But now, what car are you driving? Yeah, what car are you driving is key as well. Or what phone have you got? I know we all have phones, but what phone are you having? And so if you have one that is not the latest, then you start hiding it. one time, ah, one time, one of my daughters um, got a phone on her birthday. It was a small phone, very small. It was her first phone. It was her first phone. We gave it to her. It was very small, and she was happy until she went to school and took her phone with her and found out people don't have those phones. I need my charger for the for the iPhone, but I hope someone can get it for me. And they were having a trip, a field trip, and they were told you feel free to carry your phones and bring them to school because it was a field trip. And so she brought her phone uh, to school, and people were laughing. They said, "What in the world is that you?" Only one person said it, and she got it and hid it. And she said, "Mommy, I had to hide my phone." And I asked her why, because someone said, "What kind of phone is that?" But remember that day she got it, she was happy. It was a phone. She had not seen better. It's because of exposure, because of the day that we live in, that we are not even happy. We are not happy with what we have simply because we are measuring ourselves basing on the scales that the world has put out there. Like, you've got to be driving this car, you've got to be living in this area, you should be in this, have traveled to these countries, you should speak a certain way. Those are things that have kept our relationships and love on the cold end. Because if you are with a person who doesn't have what the world has set as, trending, as giving, as the in thing, and you compare it to what is trending now, you'll be like, but what kind of man have I got? He can't even do this for me. He can't even give me this. Yeah. And yet he's okay. And you are okay. But you're starting to measure yourself up on the world standards. That is bad, and it's very sad. Another thing is that can cause love to go cold is your partner being overburdened. Yeah. Like when you are demanding, I want to have this, I want to have that, I need to have this. If you're to be in a relationship with me, you need to get me this. Those high demands or expectations can also cause your relationship to go cold. When all you want is the latest thing, the latest that also can be one sure way of getting your relationship to the cold end without you even noticing. you start feeling that your relationship is no longer a proper fit for you, or that your partner must have done something that crossed certain boundaries that led to that point. I know of a lady who used to even tell her man that I think you have bad luck. And that is because she had tapped into the world of friends. And the friends were ill advising her, telling her, if your man can't get you this, if your man can't do this, then he's not fit. And so she kept on looking for reasons and excuses to put him down, and telling him if he can't get him this kind of phone, then he's not any man. And so he was always trying to prove himself to her that he's a man, really, that he can provide, that he's got this. Yeah, those kinds of things are the ones that cause partners to go cold, because they are you know, burdened. The feeling of being overburdened, or needing some time to gather their thoughts. It happens to all of us and can cause our relationships to go cold. I told you guys it's a live chat. I don't know where you're watching from. Please let me know, and let me know what your opinion is, because I see you watching, but I don't know where you're watching in from, and you're not saying anything. It's a live chat. Go ahead and share your experience, what you think causes a relationship to go cold. But I've given my opinions on why relationships go cold. Someone wrote in there and said something to do with savings. Let me see who that was. Who wanted? We don't do that. We normally don't do that. We do live chats every Friday, and a topic is already put out there for us to discuss. But I would give an exception to this gentleman that wrote in and said, he said, teach me about saving, mommy. And I think it is still Sooner. Sooner, are you still on? Josh, are you still on? Because if you're on, we can handle savings. Otherwise, guys, go ahead and let me know about your opinions and experiences on why love goes cold in a relationship. That's our main topic. I'm just responding to Suna's comment of to teach him about savings. Today we are not talking about saving, but I'll give a few pointers here or there. Sooner, there are so many ways you can save, and today is not about that, but you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and you go in the lives and see about our savings life or investments. You see in detail about investments. Today I'll just give you a few pointers because it was off topic, yeah, when we are talking about savings. So I'll put a few pointers on savings. Otherwise, today is about why love goes cold. But since you asked about savings, there are many ways you can save money. First of all, you can purpose that I'll get myself a tin that you cannot open except it is full and you have a goal. Savings and living poverty is a mindset. You determine that enough is enough this year. You have goals that are bigger than you. I'll have goals and I'll have to achieve them, because if you don't set for yourself goals, you will have no drive to that will get you to save money. So you need to have a drive, have dreams that are big. Purpose, this year I have to, do this and the other. And that goal has got to be bigger than you. It's not one of those things that you can do when you wake up. It has to be something that you know is out of reach. But if you save, you can get to, and get yourself a tin and drop in some money. Small, slowly by slowly, you get yourself to a goal. Depending on how big your goal is, that is the money you drop in the tin. If you don't use the tin, you can go on and use direct debit, where you tell your bank, you open up 2 accounts and tell your bank, my salary passes on this account, but anytime it comes, remove off this much and put it on the fixed account. That way you will save by force and the money will go to that account. Another thing that you can do is get into a circle. Those people know how to, be on your neck when you have not brought your contribution. So get into a circle and put your money in that circle per day or per week, and you'll be able to save by force, whether it's hard habit or not. Otherwise, guys, the topic that we are talking about is what causes love to go cold. If you guys are not talking and you're not responding in any way, I will hang up. So go ahead and let me know. Share your experiences as to why you think love goes cold. Because I know you know. You know why it does go cold. Let me know what you think causes love to go cold, because it's a live chat. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off and we'll catch up next time. You need to let me know where you're watching from, who you are, so I get to know you. I have two channels. One is called Plates and Places. Those of you who are not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe on that channel and get to see another side of me. That one of Plates and Places, I do show projects of building, construction work, and how you can build with small money, because you don't have to have a big account to build. The projects that I put on there are on budget. The people that I do these projects for don't have much but have dreams, and so I'm on their case to give me that money and get these projects going. So if you want to take on any of them, go ahead as well. And subscribe, you'll be able to get to see the videos. And there's also another channel. Sorry, on that channel also we do food. I do food, I cook simple meals at home on budget, and yet affordable, and yet also tasty. You can eat and fine dine using that normal things that we have at home, but flip them up and come up with delicious meals. So that channel is dedicated to Plates and Places with Winfred. Check it out, you will love it. And this one is dedicated to reading the Bible on a daily basis, a chapter or two, and on Friday we do live chats. We chat about life, because I got to also realize that much as we read by the Bible, we do also need to unwind and talk about life and life experiences. When our numbers drop up to 20, guys, I'll sign off, and also will go off to bed, because I'll assume you are also out and just forgot to hang up. Otherwise, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from, who you are, and what you think causes relationships to go cold. That is what we are talking about. Give me your opinions. Let me know where you're watching in from. I need to hear from different people, because I see you on there and you're not hanging up, but you're not talking. In Uganda, we call that Kamoli. You are in Kamoli. You're not talking, but you're there and silently taking in. So go ahead, let me know who you are, and back to you sooner. Josh, another way you can save money is by buying shares. There are so many companies that are selling shares that you can buy shares from and forget that money and just expect returns from your shares after a certain period of time. Or better still, you can set up and invest. There are so many projects you can start. And once you have these different projects, like you can get into food industry or transport industry and make yourself small money on a daily basis that later on can grow and get you to what your goals are. Otherwise, that's about saving. And regarding your girl that you wanted us to call in Saudi, go ahead and give me the number and let me call her. Let us find out together whether she loves you or she doesn't. You're the one who had suggested that you needed to know if the woman you love actually loves you back. So let me know what her number is and let us call her and find out together if she loves you. But if you have been together and she just left for Dubai or for Saudi, she still does probably. If she wasn't running away from you, she probably still does love you and wants things to work out. It's just that distance causes us to get ideas out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. Now you're starting to doubt, but this woman is really legit. And if she likes you, she still does love you, regardless of the distance between you. We tend to give up on relationships and start thinking all sorts of things that the man is away, so he doesn't love me anymore. He's hustling, trying to make ends meet, and probably still that same person that loved you to date and also will love you when she gets or he gets back. So, really, we need to just know who we are in relationship with and before we rule out that they don't love us anymore or don't care about us anymore. Yeah. That's what I can tell you sooner if you're still on. That's what I can say. Otherwise, guys, let me know what causes love to go cold. I need to hear from you. I need to hear from Lydian, Kamalamu. I need to hear from uh, Alan. I need to hear from Jamie. I need to hear from Jadine. I need to hear from Anderson. I need to know, guys, if you're tuning in. Otherwise, once we drop to 20, I'll be signing off. And until next Friday, that's when we will come up with another topic. Once we drop to 20, I sign off. Otherwise, until then, let me know who you are, where you're watching in from, and what you think causes love to go cold. I'm waiting on you guys. Otherwise, there are so many things like as listed before that causes love to go cold. There are many things that cause love to go cold. But I also need to also hear from you what your opinion is, what you think causes love to go cold. Because love goes cold every single day, left, right, and center. These people meet each other when they are children. And as they get older, they don't even want to cross paths. They are so disgusted with each other. They don't like each other anymore, not fancy each other anymore. There is something that happened definitely that caused them not to be on the same page anymore or not to care or feel about each other the same way anymore. So let me know what you think causes love to go cold. That is our topic of discussion today. And I need to hear your opinions as well. So please let me know who is watching in and what you think causes love to go cold. Because there are so many reasons why people's love goes cold. And I'm waiting. Otherwise, guys, I need to know what your opinion is on why love goes cold. I need to know why a partner can go from being so loving and caring to, being cold. Because shifting of a partner's behavior from at one time being caring, loving, can be confusing and distressing at the same time. But we've gone through what causes all that. We've gone through so many reasons why, but also the fear of being vulnerable. And your partner is fearing to be hurt, can also cause them to, go cold. I fear that if I pour myself out there, I fear that if you get to know this other side of me, then you will leave me. So I close up on doors, I shut them before you actually get to know they are open or they exist. Yeah, there are so many reasons why love, a good relationship or love can go cold. There are many reasons, but I'm waiting also on your opinions as well, you that are tuning in. But also changes in feelings. You know, like when we are in relationships that are young, you feel these jitters, you feel, this person is cracking you on every end. Yeah, it is possible that their feelings have changed, though it doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't love you at one point. They may love you, but their feelings changed along the way. Why? Probably because of the way they reality can hit you different about a person. Like when you're first interested in each other, I'm telling you these things, I'm promising the moon, I'm, I'm all doing all the right things. You come to my place, I cook you this meal, and then you think it is me who cooked when I actually bought it and panned it very well, and you're thinking you're marrying a cook when actually the cousin of the auntie cooks. Yeah, there are so many things that can cause love to go cold. We handled them as expectations, we handled them as unresolved conflict, we handled them as neglect, stress, emotional distress. There are so many. But I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you what your opinion is as to why relationships go cold. Because you're not responding, so I'm waiting to hear what you think causes relationships to go cold. Because I've given my opinions and I'm waiting to hear from you guys. Soon I'm waiting to hear from you what you think causes relationships to go cold. Yeah, what do you think causes relationships to go cold? There are so many reasons, but I'm also waiting to hear from someone else. I'm waiting, guys, to hear what your opinions are. Otherwise, when our numbers drop to 20, I will be signing off. Eh? I'll be signing off if we drop to 20 and you're not giving me your comments because I've given enough and we've been together for some time. So you need to let me know what causes love to go cold because I believe there are so many reasons. And don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy. Let me know. Let me hear your voice. You can call on +256 762599138. It's a live chat, and I'll pick your call and hear your sweet voice. And also, you can go ahead and drop in the comments. I will read them and get to know your opinion as to why you think relationships go cold. Soon I'm waiting for you and the number of your girlfriend so we can call her and find out if she loves you like you had requested. I'm waiting, guys. Your opinions as to why relationships go cold. I don't want to sign off when you guys are still on. So you let me know why you think relationships go cold. If we drop to 20, I will have my confirmation that I need to sign off. Otherwise, I'm waiting. Anyone, any opinion, I'm waiting. Yeah, thank you for coming from Kamori, Alan. Thank you for coming from Nakamoli and saying hello. And you're welcome on the topics. I also would want to know what causes love to go cold. On your opinion, it would be nice to hear from a man's point of view. What causes a relationship to go cold? Anyone out there, including you, who has just written Alan, what would cause a relationship to go cold? I need to hear a man's point of view because I've given the women's point of view. What uh, would cause us as women to go cold? Or what would cause you men? I've tried to balance it out, but it would help also if ladies you write in, or the gentlemen you write in and let us know what causes relationships to go cold. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear someone's opinion on why relationships go cold. Relationships go cold. Why do they for sure go cold? Because I've given my opinions and now I'm waiting on yours, guys. So they become the point of discussion. I'm waiting. Alan, what's your opinion on why relationships go cold sooner? Why do relationships go cold? Another reason why, okay, as you think of the reasons why relationship, okay, yeah. Thank you, Alan, for writing. Um, you have said, I think, because of the busyness of life, response. Thank you, Alan, for letting me know that there is no sound. I wouldn't have known. Thank you so much. I wouldn't have known that the sound is off. I hope it's back on. And our numbers are dropping. Yeah. If they drop up to 20, we hang up and we call it a good night until next Friday. Otherwise, what you said, Alan, is right, that people are so busy and they have no time for one another. And so there's no time to grow. Yes, it is so true. And also the responsibilities that come. That is so true. That is why people don't why love is going cold. Can you imagine of a generation where love doesn't? Thank you so much for letting me know that the sound is back. Thank you. I didn't know my sound had gone off, and I really appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know the sound had gone off. And that goes to show you that some people are not actually telling me. So I'm going to be signing out the moment we drop to 20, guys. Because if my sound went off and no one could even respond and let me know, that is not nice. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in every Friday. We do this every Friday at 9:40. And you can go ahead and book the space. Every Friday night, different topics are discussed. Today we talked about why love goes cold. And next Friday, another topic will come up. If you want one that you want to have discussed, go ahead and drop it in the comments. And we'll try and work it out, and it will be the one we'll be discussing next Friday. Otherwise, you have been good sports, and thank you so much for hanging in there. Even those who have not said a word but have watched from beginning to end. You just had to let me know where you're watching from and who you are, and say hello. Alan, thank you so much for alerting me on the sound, and thank you, Suna, for your comments. Also, Jasper, thank you so much for tuning in and also the comments. Guys, I would like to sign off if you're not saying anything. When it clocks uh, in 30 minutes from now, I'll be signing off. Because I told you when we drop to 20, then I would sign off, but you're not dropping and you're not saying a word. If you said something, would continue until morning, but you're not. So I'm wondering who is watching and where are they watching from? Who are they? Are they spies? So if you're not, go ahead, guys. Let me know why you think relationships go cold. Otherwise, if there is no one that is contributing in the next 5 minutes, I'll sign off. Otherwise, those of you who have been with us from the very beginning, thank you so much for tuning in, subscribing. I hope you have subscribed because that would make me really glad. And you'll be able to get in the archives all the past videos that we have made. On every Friday, we've had a live chat. Those of you who are wondering about savings, there are videos that we have made in the past about savings, about investments, and they will be helpful. Go ahead, tap on them, and you'll be able to learn more here or there about how you can change your behaviors and be able to save more. And about relationships, there's a video also about relationship, and uh, there's also videos about those who are interested in reading the Bible. There's always reading of the Bible from every day of the week, except Sunday, because Sunday is assumed that we all go to church and we read. So in case there is no video on Sunday, it's purely because of that. Otherwise, every day of the week there's a video. And Alan, you said thanks for the live show every Friday. You're welcome, dear. And thank you for always tuning in. And I always see your comments. Thank you so much. And soon also, thank you so much because you always drop a comment or two. And Jasper, you always drop a comment. Thank you so much. I hope that you are blessed. And also subscribe to my other channels that I've got. You'll find them interesting. They will teach you how to build, even like the build plates and places. That channel will help you with Winfred, will help you realize that you can save money and build without having a big account. Those things that we fear, those things that we dread, those things that we think are dreams or very far from us can be accessible if we purpose to dare start. Because it's all about dare starting. Having those dreams that are bigger than you will move you to save more. But if you have dreams that are easy to reach, my dream is to, eat KFC. You can always get that money and eat that KFC. That's not a dream. A dream should be for bigger things. Buy a piece of land. It seems impossible, but if you have that mind of buying land, you will buy it. And you can build. On that channel, building. It used to be building projects, but now it's called Plates and Places. And because there is food and then there's buildings as well, and anything to do with construction is on there. Now, on there you get to see that you can build even with a small budget. You can build with limited funds because the things we are doing on those grounds are incredible. And you'll find them educational. Jennifer is okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think this is the first time I've read your name and this is the first time you've commented. Thank you so much. I hope you've been with us from the beginning. You said God bless you for the insights. You're welcome, dear, and I'm glad you've tuned in. I wanted to know a woman's opinion because I represented women, but probably you have something to say as well as to why relationships go cold. Jennifer, please let us know why you think relationships go cold. Have you heard of Any experiences or any stories about why relationships went cold? Go ahead and share. Let me hear from a lady as well. Your opinion counts as to why relationships go cold, because they do on a daily. People are getting in and out of relationships like crazy. I don't know about where, Jennifer, you're watching in from, but we are in Uganda. I'm in Uganda, and trust me, relationships fail like crazy. There are people who have found out things in a marriage and left relationships a week after, or 2 weeks, or even 2 days after, simply because it was more hot before they got into the whole bed of roses, and now things are really different. So you can let us know why you think relationships go cold, because they do. They do. I know of a gentleman who just married, and then when he married, they moved into some place, and the next week they brought 2 kids to the house, and then the following week they brought another one. They just kept on coming, bringing these kids. And the woman, because the man was never home, asked the man, who are those kids and why are they always brought to the house? And the man said, they are my kids. Why are you asking? But these are things he never talked about while dating her. And after dating her and getting married to her, then these kids are showing up, because then the mothers of these different kids got to know that he got married. And so they are like, since you're not marrying me, have your kid as well. So they sent these kids to him from every corner where he had birthed them. So that alone made the woman stay, the marital wife, for about 2 months, and then she left. And by only to find out where she had gone off, that she left when she was pregnant 2 weeks. And that was another disaster waiting to happen. But she didn't look back just because she was pregnant, or found out that she was pregnant. So I see here Jennifer has written. Thank you, Jennifer, for writing. Dishonesty, lack of transparency, and taking each other for granted. Yes, dishonesty plays really a big part in people's relationships going cold. We are not truthful. We just lie about even things that we shouldn't be lying about. I lie about who my real parents are, where I actually come from. Those things that matter, we lie about them. And yet we forget that the truth at some point will come out. Yeah, the truth always comes out. And when it does, we have to be prepared for it, because sometimes it comes and messes up even a good thing. So if you want to keep a good relationship, because we can learn from these guys what causes a relationship to go cold. We can learn from this and keep our relationships from going cold. We start off by being honest. Yeah, like Jennifer has said, and being transparent. What you see is what you get, not being two-faced. When I'm with you, I'm this, and actually when I'm out there, I'm a different person. That is what transparency would do. And taking each other for granted. There is that tendency as well where we get used to each other. I don't know what causes it, but we get used to each other, and then we start not caring about how the other feels, and we end up losing each other along the way. So if we can learn how to be honest and be transparent, and also not take each other for granted. If I look good, tell me I look good. If I make you happy, let me know, because that will not only do me good, but also will boost my confidence, and I'll be able to pour better into our relationship. It's not good when you are the one who is always pouring into other people. You need someone at some point to also fill you back up, so that you can be able to balance a relationship. So if you're one who wants to be treated as a king, treat your woman as a queen. If you're one who wants to be treated as a queen, treat your man as the king. That's the only way we can balance it out. Otherwise, our relationships can go cold. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I wonder where you're watching in from. Because I'm in Uganda. I don't know whether you're in Uganda. And if you're in Uganda, which part of Uganda are you? Yeah. And thank you so much for those comments. I promise that when our viewership drops to 20, then I'll sign off. So, guys, keep the comments coming. Keep the comments coming, or call in on +256 762 599 138. We'll be able to chat together. Soon, I'm still waiting on that number of your girlfriend that you wanted us to call and trick to see if she loves you. If you're still on, send that number and let us call her up before we actually sign off. I thought our numbers will drop to 20, but the numbers just keep on going up. So I need to know who is watching and what's your opinion on why relationships go cold. Or Jennifer, you're watching from Uganda, Wakiso. Thank you so much for tuning in, my sister. And thank you for the comments. Let me know anyone else why you think relationships go cold. Otherwise, we have basically addressed most of the things, and I'm waiting for new opinions from anyone who has just tuned in or anyone who has been with us and feels like there's a point I didn't talk about. Go ahead and drop it in the comments and we'll read it. And just say hello. You can even just say, hi, I'm so and so from here. And let us know who is watching and who is not watching. Otherwise, all relationships to succeed, they have to be two-way traffic. You put in, I put in. You let me go, I let you go. It goes cold because both of us did not play our parts. Either one of us was playing their part and the other did not. There is something that I noted here that I wanted us to also conclude with. It had something to do with can love be rekindled? Can love be rekindled? I mean, we've talked about why it goes cold, but can it be rekindled? You know, if you've lost it, can it be stirred back up? Practical steps to ignite passion and strength, the bond that was once and now is not. Can it be rekindled? Can it be stirred back up? Can it be reignited and strengthened? Yes, it can. Love can be rekindled, love can be reignited, love can be stirred up, back up. Now, how do we do that? Guys, all that we talked about, we just have to go in reverse and our relationships will stand. They will not go cold on us because we are now, practicing. Where it talks about unmet expectations, we try and meet those expectations. We don't have high expectations. Realistic expectations will keep our relationships going. Don't expect your partner to be an angel, but expect him to be a human being or her a human being. One to make mistakes, one to stray, one to, cause you pain at some point. But if you have those expectations, it will keep the relationship fresh because you will not hold them in high regard where they are angels, and so when they mess up, the relationship has to end. Yeah, the other one is being real. Yeah, not expecting that we are going to be in honeymoon phase all through, day in, day out. In the honeymoon phase, there's even no doing housework because you are at the hotel and food is brought on order. You wake up to eat and just go chill out and then come back in, chill some more. Now we just need to be realistic. Being real in a relationship would help us. Where there's been emotional neglect, we start working on not neglecting each other, but caring more about what the other feels or what the other likes. If our lives are busy and priorities are shifting, to reshift our priorities, to remember that before anything, this person, before the kids came in the picture, before responsibilities, this person was in my life. And so you be mindful of them and not neglecting them. By communicating where there's been no communication, that would help, reignite our passion for each other, reignite our love, and keep the flames burning. The other one is to be not to allow ourselves to be lost in our partners, whereby you even lose your identity completely when it comes to relating with a person. Because the more sacrifice you put in a relationship, the more, once the other person has not reciprocated, you feel resentment for them. Because you feel like you've given it your all and there's nothing that has come back to you. Also, the other one is unresolved conflict. We can learn to resolve our conflicts because that will keep our relationships from going cold. A physical and emotional intimacy decline. We try and make sure that our physical and emotional intimacy does not decline. If you are a hugger, continue hugging. If you are a complimenter, continue complimenting. If you are one that was getting out of your way to make the other one comfortable, continue doing it because it will keep your relationship from going cold. And the bit that my friend just talked about here, Jennifer, taking each other for granted, learning to respect, cherish, and honor each other. And not forgetting to appreciate and be grateful or showing gratitude to each other because that will keep our flames burning and keep them from going cold. Where there's uncertainty, by being, presenting certainty to our partners, this will keep them, their hopes up. Where there's insecurity, you try and make your partner feel secure, assuring them of a tomorrow together. That will keep your relationship from going cold. Also, loosening up so that we don't control our partners in what they do, where they go, how they dress, because that gets to a point where the other one is fed up and just wants to leave or starts feeling like you're putting them down. So we learn to reduce on the control. Now, when it comes to the stress at work and health issues, financial difficulties, we learn to carry each other's burdens because when we do, then our relationships will stand. For personal growth, where individuals grow and evolve and values and beliefs, like when you meet each other when you're young, and then you start. I was young when I got attracted to you or got into a relationship with you, and what drew me was the muscles, the hair, the color, the height, all that attracted me to you. Now that I'm grown and my priorities are different, I need to learn how to appreciate what you have become. Because just as I'm growing, you are growing as well. Just as I'm changing, you're changing as well. That means I just need to, get to that place of compromise where we grow together and, learn to do life together. Another one is the external values, the external influence from TV, from family, from friends, by learning how to block them out. Have a limit as to where your relatives stop in terms of opinions, suggestions, and interference in your relationship. Also, when it comes to friends, you let them mind the gap. When it comes to your relationship, you need to give it that much respect that not everyone can just come in and spit whatever their opinions are and you take them. You do your rest. You're doing your relationship. It's just you and this person. The moment you realize in a relationship, it's the two of you. The rest can be out all they want. Because when it comes to going hungry, to be the two of you. When that doesn't sink, guess what happens? We keep on thinking it will get better or it's better out there. And so we jump from one relationship to another, forgetting it is fire also out there. It is hot out there as well, or colder out there if you think yours is cold. So we learn to work with what we have and better it. Now, for the issue of mental health, where someone gets depressed or gets anxious, we try to keep ourselves from those things that would ideally depress us. I know of someone who doesn't even watch news simply because she doesn't want anything depressing. The world is depressing enough, so she made it a point not to watch news. That way, all those things that would ideally keep her depressed, she locks them out. But also, there are those who have made resolves. I don't get on social media, not YouTube, not TikTok, not anything, because it keeps you depressed. Because on those social media platforms, guys, I don't know which ones you guys are on, but people get on there and show off. They brag, they just show off like they have much money, everyone is happy, they've got it all together, when actually they don't. The day you go to a restaurant and eat fine food, that's when you take pictures, and someone can think you're always eating fine food. The day you get in a nice car, for probably you're given a lift, is the day you take all these pictures around the car, in the car, and people can think, hey, they got a new car. And that can keep you sad, you who has not taken those pictures or been in that car. Well, you can keep all that out and keep a sober mind where you're not depressed or anxious about anything. Because on social media, that's where you find people going out, and spending money that they don't have. You know for sure they don't have it, but on social media they are different. They all look happy, they all look good. And when you look at yourself, you're like, oh my goodness, something must happen to me. Must have happened to me. That's why everyone seems to be okay and I'm not. That is what I can say, guys, about our topic today. Why love goes cold. Let us meet again on Friday next week, God willing, and do another live one. Thank you so much, guys, who have been with us from the very beginning. I hope you keep it right here on Friday next week, and together we can grow ourselves and do life together. And feel free next week to drop in comments and call in on +256762599 138. I'll be glad when you drop a comment or call in. Otherwise, until next time, guys, allow me to say good night and stay blessed. Thank you so much. Bye bye.